Hello, everyone. This is another edition of Oil Kings Nation. I am your host. I just want to say sorry it's taken me so long to post another video. I've been busy the last week or so, so I've missed a few videos from a few games that they've played since my last one. So I'm not going to touch on those ones, just the most recent game. Which was last night on November 22nd against Prince George Cougars. Before I get into my main content, I want to talk about their overall road trip. So, as you all know, they're on an 8-game road trip. It wraps up next Friday against the Red Deer Rebels, a team that they've had great success against. The Oil Kings have had over the last 2 years. So I would just want to start and talk about their overall road trip. Currently, they're on 5-2 out of this 8-game road trip. They finished the BC portion 4-2, which is pretty good, as you have all probably have seen on my previous videos, and I've said it over and over and over again. If the team can finish this road trip 4-4 or better, they will be a playoff team, and they have done that guaranteed now, as they are 5-2 on an 8-game road trip that wraps up again on November 28th against the Red Deer Rebels in Red Deer. So that's what I wanted to open the video with, just again talking about their overall road trip. Kicked off in Medicine Hat with a win, then they went through BC, got 4 wins on the BC trip out of the 6 games, so a very successful road trip. I just want to touch on a couple of things. As you guys may or may not know, there's this thing out there called toxic positivity. To me, I don't really have an issue with it, other than the fact that, I say it the way it is. I'm a straight shooter when I post my videos. And one thing that I posted on the team page yesterday was that the team did not play well in the first period. They got out of the first period 2-2, but it was just an atrocious period. They didn't really dictate the play. They turned the puck over a lot. They weren't skating well. The power play looked awful. I can go on and on. Now, the one thing that I'm surprised that the team didn't focus on was the power play of Prince George. Now, when you're taking penalties against a team in the league with a power play operating around 40%, and you take penalties against that power play, you're going to get burnt. And you know what? We lost 3-2 yesterday. We took 2 penalties. Prince George got 2 goals on the power play, and that was the difference. So I don't understand why the team would not consider staying out of the box against a team that's operating at a 40% rate on the power play. You know what, to be honest with you, we deserved to lose that game last night because the power play was good for Prince George, plain and simple. Second and third period, we tried to come back, but hey, we ran into a hot goaltender. Ravensbergen from the Prince George Cougars, he was absolutely outstanding last night. We dominated the second and the third period, I thought. Just couldn't find the third one to tie it up. Now, as you probably don't know, when I posted after the second period of the game last night on the team page, I said that we are going to finish the BC road trip 4-2. A lot of fans did not like that. Quote-unquote fans did not like that because they said, I'm already dismissing the fact that we're going to lose the game and we still had a full 20 minutes to play. Quite frankly, I don't care, because here's the thing. Statistically, this season, the Oil Kings have had the third period that's been the worst period of the season. We've given up the most goals in the third period this year in all of our games combined, if you add up the numbers. Yes, we had that one very bad first period against Swift Current at home when we gave up 4 in the first, but overall, statistically, the third period has been our worst period of the season. We can't score in that period, it seems like, and we give up a lot of goals. Fortunately for us last night, we did not give up a goal in the third period to keep the game close, but at the end of the day, we still didn't get the job done by scoring to tie the game. And that is the point I have posted on the team page, and I got a lot of flack for that, and I quite frankly I don't understand why, because I always speak the truth and I always say it the way it is, and the way it is what I posted yesterday was Edmonton is done because they went into the third period down 3-2, and I posted that on the team page because statistically the third period has been our worst period of the season, so I knew it was going to be either tough for us to tie it or we weren't going to tie it at all. So again, I got a lot of flack for that, saying, oh, you're dismissing the team, they're not going to cut, you're being too negative. And here's the thing, negativity is not, that wasn't being negative, that was just being straight up to the point, truthful, saying what I said, that Edmonton is cooked in the third because third period has been the worst period of our season so far statistically. Now, I mentioned toxic positivity, and here's the thing. I got kicked out of a Facebook group that was run by some fans of the Oil Kings because even when they were losing games, I was always critical of them, and admittedly so I was, but here's the thing. I'm critical when they lose and they play like crap. If they lose and they still play good, I'm not critical. That's the difference. That is what people don't seem to understand when I say those comments on the team page, is I am saying what I notice and what I watch and what I observe either in person at home or when I watch the games on Victory Plus, the streaming service. Fans don't like that because they are quote-unquote passionate about their team. Well, here's the thing. I'm a passionate fan too, but I don't bullshit and I don't talk around things and dance around it. Like, oh, everything's hunky-dory, positive, sunshines and rainbows. I don't do that. I'm a guy that says it the way it is, and people don't like that. Here's the thing. I'm calling out the fans for this reason. The team can go into a game, let's say hypothetically, they can go into a game and they can lose 6-1 and play good. Fine. Or they can go into that same game, lose 6-1, play like crap, and then I come on and say, the team played like crap, they lost 6-1, they were awful, atrocious, whatever word you want to use. Or I can go on there and say, oh, 6-1, they played like crap, but it's okay because, you know, I'm a passionate fan. That is the difference between a true fan and a delusional fan, like most of the fans seem to be for the Oil Kings. They can't take any criticism. They think the team can do no wrong. I understand they're teenagers, but come on, guys. They're all trying to get drafted to the NHL. So you think when they get to the NHL, if they play like crap, the coach is going to go in and say, it's okay, guys. You played fine. If they don't get called out on their mistakes, or if people just dance around it and say, oh, it's sunshine and rainbows all the time, hunky-dory, woo-doo-woo, they're never going to learn. So I don't understand, and I don't care why these fans are calling me out on social media for posting truthful comments every single time. It is not negative, it is the truth. If you're watching the same game I'm watching, you would understand. They just don't have the balls to say it. I do. See, the thing is, I'm very passionate about the team. Win or lose, I support the team no matter what happens. But on the same token, if they lose or if they win and they play like crap, I'm going to post about it, and I don't care what anyone says. Even if they win and they play like crap, that's a problem. If they lose and they play like crap, that's a problem. The thing is, they need to be, the big C word, consistent. That is the problem with winning and playing crappy and losing and playing crappy. Consistency. That is the key. This team has been consistent so far all season long. They've had a couple of bad games where they haven't been consistent. So that is why I say it the way it is. Quickly touch up on a few thoughts as to why we lost. Like I said before, the power play was not good. The first power play was absolutely awful. Couldn't even get it in the Cougar zone to set up and get any opportunities on the net. The last couple of power plays we had were better, just couldn't score. The penalty kill, dreadful. Absolutely terrible. Now, if I was the coach of the team, I'm looking at my game plan, I'm looking at the stats, and I'm saying, hey, the Cougars are clicking at 40% on the power play. We need to stay out of the damn box if we're going to win this game or have a chance to win. What do? Game starts, take a penalty, puck in the net. Same thing. Yes, we got one back on shorthanded, but at the end of the day, when you see a 2 spot that the Cougars put up on the power play and the final score being 3-2, that's the difference in the game. That is why we lost, simply because we gave a 40% power play 2 goals. Now, I mentioned it before, second and third period we were much better. We ran into a very hot goaltender. We peppered him in the last 2 periods. We just could not find the next one. Ravensbergen, great goaltender for the Cougars. Hats off to him. Terrific job keeping us at bay. He was the difference in the last 2 periods for sure, because we totally dominated the last 40 minutes of the game. So, hats off to him. Now, I just want to quickly touch on our next opponent. At the beginning of the video, I said our 8th and final game of this road trip is against Red Deer on the 28th in Red Deer. We are undefeated against the Rebels this season, and last year we owned them as well. So, on paper, statistically, we should win that game, but at the end of the day, it is hockey. Anything can happen. Don't take anything for granted. But at the same time, Red Deer is absolutely atrocious this year, so hopefully the trend continues where we snap this 2-game losing streak and we get back onto the win column. And then when we come home on the 30th for Crazy Hair Day, we win that one and we put another win on home ice. The one thing I hope not to see watching this team is you win 9 and then you go on a long losing streak and then you win a couple, then lose again, because it's just going to make it difficult for us to maintain this momentum and get into the playoffs. But again, I've said we are most likely in the playoffs, and we're not even halfway through the season. And I'm saying that looking at the record, 18-6-2, basically. We are 8 points up on Medicine Hat still. We are 11 points up on the Hitmen in our division for first place. 2 points up on Prince Albert for first in the Eastern Conference. So when I look at the numbers and I look at the opponents that we have left and I look at everything adding up, Oil Kings are going to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of where we're going to finish and who we're going to play. But I'm going to say this again. Oil Kings, playoff team, home ice advantage in the first round at the very least. But we've got to get better on the power play. It has not been good this year. I think Matt Barrett said it yesterday in the broadcast. we were like 18th or 19th in the WHL in the power play out of 23 teams, so not very good. We should try and get that up to around middle of the pack. Power plays can dictate the outcome of the game, so we need to get that up. It definitely worked against us last night against the Cougars. They got 2 on the power play. So, again, special teams have to get better. Goaltending, not an issue for us. Both goaltenders have been phenomenal. The special teams, I think, as a whole, is the issue that we need to work on. Again, I'm posting this video kind of calling out the people who called me out on social media because they can't take the fact that I say it the way it is, win or lose, the way they play, doesn't matter. If they play good and they win, I write and say, hey, they played good and they won. If they play good and they lose, again, I give them credit for that. If they play terrible and win, or they play terrible and lose, I say it the way it is. And the problem that I find with people in this town is nobody can take the truth. People, I find, for the Oil Kings, a few fans are delusional and they are always having a positive attitude, which is why I have said in this video, it is toxic positivity. It's sickening. It's disgusting. People need to see both sides of the coin, and people need to realize not everything in life is a bunch of rainbows and roses. That's all for this video. I'm going to be posting a pre-game and post-game video for the Rebels this coming week, so stay tuned for that. If you like this video, comment and subscribe. I read your comments and I appreciate the views. Have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one.